What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Verdependent podcast, where we depend on the Verde Black for our everyday vibes. This week, we celebrate Austin's tactical takedown of San Diego FC, recap the action from the international break, and preview our matchup away at St. Louis City SC before closing out the episode with a stoppage time rundown of the hottest Austin FC, MLS, and World Footy storylines of the past week. If you haven't already, I would definitely consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review and possibly even sharing these episodes with a friend. I'm Paul Fletes.
And I'm Logan Bartlett.
Lobar, my brother in Verde. Our Austin FC is second in the West after 5 games. How are you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling incredible, man.
Yeah.
We haven't been here since, fall of 2022?
Something like that.
This high in the table since I was 26. So that's what's up. 27, I guess, if it was fall. But still, I'm about to be 30. And we're back.
That's awesome, dude. Welcome.
I've broken a knee. I've pulled a hamstring. I've played some soccer.
That's it.
And gotten engaged. And we still weren't second. Now look at this.
Right. There you go, man.
No, it feels good, man. What about you?
It feels great, dude. It's going to be really hard to not make everything a comparison to 2022.
That's all
because
we're do.
That's all that we know as an Austin FC fan base is that one season, where things were on a high, but we move on. I guess we should go ahead and get into a little bit of preheated takes.
Let's do it.
Awesome, man. I will say last week we hit the preheated gold because we definitely, I'm pretty sure we went 2 for 2. You and I both hit 100% on those calls. So let's just quickly remind the people what those calls were.
Paul,
let's get it, dude.
Give me your preheated take looking ahead to this weekend.
I've got you, man. It's a positive one, kind of riding off the momentum of last week, but
I like it.
I have us scoring our first goal from the run of play against San Diego at Q2 on Sunday.
Yep. I like that. I like that. And I like that because my preheated take is that Brandon Vazquez bags his first goal of the year against San Diego.
Okay.
And so I think those go hand in hand because I think that's going to happen in the run of play.
Fair to say, bro, we know ball, dude.
We know ball, bro.
Lobar, what you got for this week, man?
I'm just going to keep – this is a long-term ball knowing right here. This is Brandon Vazquez. He scored. I called it, right? In the run of play. You called it.
We heard it.
His All-Star campaign starts now. Calling it. This man will officially be an All-Star for Austin FC. There's got to be one. At least, there's going to be one if we keep this form when we're top team in the West. And playing Liga MX, right? The Mexican American. Is he going to be here? Is he going to be Liga MX? What's he doing? Monterrey, Austin FC. What's up?
Right.
That's going to be titillating for the media. So if he does at least okay,
right,
and Austin's still doing well, I think he's going to get the nod for the All-Star.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that's a good one. I'm going to shift over to definitely, I would argue, Austin's player of the season these past 5 games so far. We've got Owen Wolff, and I've got this take is specifically regarding his goal contributions, and I have Owen Wolff ending the regular season with the most goal contributions from a non-DP roster spot. Count it right now.
Count it. Hey, he's leading the team so far. So
young Wolff is going to do it. Yeah.
It's in the stars.
For sure. Let's go ahead and jump into some first half. We got Austin FC going second in the West, like we mentioned, after beating San Diego. We got another one of those post-match voice notes. So hang tight. We'll be right back after this.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Brandon Vazquez scoring his first goal of the season to put Austin FC up early on for the eventual 2-1 win over San Diego. And with those 3 points, Austin FC has catapulted from 10th place all the way up to 2nd place. And for the only MLS match of the day to end off match week 5, could not have been a better performance from the Verde and Black. And just really good opportunities all throughout. Honestly, could have probably had more, probably 3 or 4 goals on the afternoon, but Bukhari still trying to find his early season form. It'll happen, but till then, y'all, just enjoy the vibes. We'll be back here against Portland at Q2 April 5th. Till then, be safe and take it easy, y'all.
Hell yeah, dude. Feeling good, Vibes FC.
Yes, sir.
I mean, bro, San Diego came to Austin last Sunday as the final unbeaten team in the West with a record of 2 wins and 2 draws, with both of those wins coming out on the road. The SoCal club was without several key starters, most notably Chucky Lozano, and they had their Danish forward Marcus Ingvardsson, and also Anibal Godoy, their Panamanian midfielder, was out for Nations League play. Yep. But they still had some ballers out there with Luca De La Torre and Anders Dreyer that were going to possibly be, trouble players for the Verde Black. Mm-hmm. So, bro, we got to start with this lineup because I think from the onset, we had Svatak out, Uzuni out, Väisänen out, and Dessler out with injury. Cascante came back, right? And then we get the lineup an hour, before kickoff as usual. I got to ask you right off rip, man, like, what did you feel seeing that starting 11?
Yeah, we pulled it up right when we got the notification on Twitter, right? And looked at it and I was like, yeah, this looks normal. Cool. We got, I assumed it was Julio in there. So I'm like, yeah, Julio's in there. We're back.
Right.
Okay. And you get to the midfield and all of a sudden it's like, wait, we got every midfielder on this team on the field right now.
Right.
Every central midfielder specifically.
Yeah.
And definitely was, the reaction on Twitter was kind of like head scratching.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing here? We got 4 midfielders,
right?
No wingers, 2 strikers, 3 fullbacks.
Yep.
It was an interesting thing with Bidu in the lineup next to Heinz Eich.
Yeah.
John got his first start. That was hot.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely head scratching. We were kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? We're going to do like a 5-3-2 in the attack with 2 strikers. Somebody drops back in a back 5. Like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out. So,
bro,
I like what it ended up being. But what were your thoughts on it, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. As a pacey winger myself, at times, in co-ed play, I was like, yo, where are the wingers at, bro?
Yeah.
And it definitely set itself up for like, okay, we're definitely gonna be boxing it out in the midfield, and that eventually came to be. But yeah, kudos to the staff and figuring out a good way to neutralize San Diego early on and deliver the first L for the Dago boys.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about those goals, though. So first goal came off of Diego Rubio's through ball into the path of BV9, who rounded the keeper and slotted his first goal of the 25 campaign. Yep. 9 minutes later, we had John Gallagher as the recipient of a quick dead ball play from Owen Wolff, which saw the Irishman strike the ball low past the keeper for what would be the game-winning goal. Lobar, Austin's first multi-goal win, comes with only one DP out on the pitch, brother. What does this say about our current DP situation?
That's a good question, man. I mean, right, 2 or 3 DPs are new.
Mm-hmm.
Uzuni, obviously, on international play with Albania.
Right.
Bukhari off the bench, which is worrying, but also probably deserved, right?
Sure.
I think the game plan made it so that we had more opportunities at goal than we would normally have in a normal... maybe that's not the right way to say this, but the game plan we had was clearly have a lot of guys on defense, hit the ball fast to a fast dude running down the field, right?
Sure.
Bukhari comes on in the second half. A lot of that same tactic works out. We get a lot of 2v1s with Bukhari and Vazquez that either hit the post, get flubbed, a heavy touch, skies it. Would have worked out in another scenario where those dudes get some goals together.
Yeah.
I don't think it speaks ill of our DP core necessarily. I think it was just circumstance. San Diego played the highest line possible. I don't know what that was about. After the first goal, when Vazquez outran their entire back line to get the ball and then, slotted it past the keeper, they kept deciding to keep their center backs at the half field line. That's a choice. And Austin did the right thing to exploit it. So I think it was more a celebration of Nico's tactics and the way the guys, Gally, Vazquez, even Bukhari, who didn't get his goal or assist, but he played it well. He did it tactically correct. Got some chances. I think it's more of a celebration of what the tactics ended up producing versus, what the DPs haven't produced so far. So shout out Nico. I think the DPs will put it together and we'll see more of these types of games with different tactical, with all 3 DPs together. But I like the question.
Yeah. No, well, and the reason I ask it is because, again, early on, if you had to pick one DP to be concerned about right now, it'd have to be Bukhari, right? Just given the amount of time he's been on the roster, and just his skill set in general. It's like the dude is clearly talented, right? And something about it right now, it just feels like it's not settled quite yet for him. But we see him always, just right there, just before that final decision or whatever needs to be made. But I hope that it does happen sooner rather than later, because we've just seen that too many times, right? In Austin's history.
Yeah, like you look at the raw stats, and like he's created a lot of opportunities. He has a goal. He's tied for most goals amongst our DPs now after Vazquez gets his with 1 on the year. Right. Nothing to write home about, but you watch the game tape and the eye test very clearly says, like, okay, Vazquez's 1 goal comes with a bunch of contribution, very well-rounded play, good connection, good defense. Bukhari's comes with a lot of frustration and lack of finishing in the final third, or finishing or making the right pass, right? And so, statistically, he's in the same boat as Vazquez, if not a better one, quote unquote. But you watch the tape and you see, like, oh yeah, Bukhari, there's something going on there. Uzuni plays his ass off; he'll get his for sure. Vazquez is going to get his. The way they're playing, you just see it. With Bukhari, it's a little more uncertainty. There's like an uncertainty about him, and coming from him on the pitch too. Like he's bringing uncertainty and frustration in those mistakes in the final third. So I think he'll get it together. I don't think it's another Rigoni, as you've pinned over the last few episodes or just within our chats, but I think he'll get it together. Yeah,
I hope it does, man. I really do, and not to beat a dead horse, but we can't have another Rigoni situation. So please, Buka, I know you'll get it together, but quickly. Let's shift over to the defense a little bit, where we saw Austin repeating a very similar performance as the win away at LAFC. Less than 30% possession, commitment to the team defense, and just like I mentioned earlier, a battle in the midfield. Lobar, was there anything different that you saw from this defensive performance versus the one that we had out in LA?
I think that's a good question too, man, because this is a weird lineup, right? We have 1 center back, we have 3 fullbacks, one of which is playing as a center back, Budu. We have a bunch of midfielders, central midfielders that are having to cover wide spaces, which they do here and there, but the wingers usually track back and help there. So a lot of guys playing in possibly less familiar situations and positions, and really no mistakes. I mean, San Diego's a great team in possession. We saw that live, right?
Correct.
They are
they grew into that second half for sure, right?
Exactly.
And we let them.
They are good in possession. They pass very well around the 18. They create opportunities. They create good angles in a way that would in other situations lead to goals. But I think the defense, all in all, everybody stepped up. I like the way Budu played. He played very aggressive in that center back position, where the moment the ball came in his section, he's running at the defender, right? Even when they're bunkering down, he's stepping high and creating some chaos. So I think guys that were playing in unfamiliar positions outplayed themselves. I think they played really well, had a good showing, and proved that, hey, I got put here for a reason, right? This isn't just emergency injury, like we got to do what we got to do. It's like, no, like I can play here, and I think the team, all in all 10 guys on the field really stepped up and like you've said, committed to that team defense. And it's refreshing to see, man, because that hasn't always been the case, right? Yeah. Where everybody seems to be willing to play defense, not just being told to play defense. And I think that's an important detail that hasn't always shown on the box score, but also on the field. So it's just another testament that these dudes are bought in to whatever Nico's feeding them. This is like the 3rd or 4th tactical change we've seen in almost as many games. And the guys are playing their ass off, and it's just exciting to see, man, because we've not been a good defensive team, and to this point we've let 3 goals in, one of which was a deflection, right? The San Diego goal. And
you could almost argue against Portland, if that free kick is just a foot higher or something like that, Stuver clears that, and we're only letting in 2 goals
exactly.
so far out of 5 games. So
very good defensive performance to add on to a number already this year.
For sure. Dope. Yeah, I mean, I think just from my end, I would just say if you are a fan that is hesitant to be bought into this new manager and this new team, you got to buy in now because like they're showing, you know, that it's like, for me, I just remember previous seasons we'd watch a Drew UC that would press really hard for maybe the first 20 or so minutes, but once the game kind of didn't pan out the way that Austin wanted, you'd see him kind of not do so much. But like, you can't say that about any of our offensive players right now. Everyone is committed to this defense, and it's inspiring, man. So if you're not bought in, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Just
just watch the game.
Straight
you're
up.
Not watching. Watch it.
For sure. Well, let's look into some halftime, where we're going to go ahead and recap some international action here. We're checking in with our Verdes on duty before spending a little time discussing the results of the Nations League tournament that finished up out in Cali. So first off, we've got Alexander Svatak, who was an unused sub in Ukraine's 3-1 win over Belgium, and then played in the return leg, played pretty much the full 90 in their 3-0 loss to the Belgians. So not a good look for Svatak specifically. He was having to go up against Lukaku, who, in international play, he's actually pretty good. But
fair.
Yeah,
I think
we have
with Svatak, I'll just say this: like that's kind of the trend we've seen with guys like Svatak, Julio, Leo. Mm-hmm. Like they're definitely the bench guys on these teams, and Correct. They come in and they usually lose. Like that's always my memory. It's like, oh, Svatak played and they lost 3-0. Yeah. Oh, Julio played and they lost 1-0. Oh, Leo played and they lost, or like they come on for the last 10 minutes of a blowout.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine, right? Like these are solid national teams. Nothing to, they're getting playing time where they deserve it. To be frank. So it is what it is. Shout out Svatak. It's inspiring to play for your home nation, so for your club, your national club. So,
and you can tell it does mean a lot to him, right? And he's very much patriotic in that sense. But
for sure,
yeah. Happy to have him back. Looking on next, we have Mirto Zuni, who played the full 90 against Thomas Tuchel's first match in charge of England in a 2-0 loss at Wembley. He would appear in the second game against Andorra and actually register his first goal, or not his first goal, but one of Austin's first goals in international play. The other one would come from Jimmy Farkaloon with Liberia, but good for Uzuni.
That's good. He hasn't scored yet for Austin. He's deserved to score. He gets this goal. I think he comes back with good momentum to take Austin.
Yep.
To the championship, bro. I don't know. We're just gonna win everything.
I mean, we're lifting something, dog. That's what I'm telling you. And then like I mentioned, Jimmy Farkaloon, he started and went about 70 minutes in the first game, which was a 1-0 loss to Tunisia. Yeah. And then the second game he ended up scoring, and so I think
and had that second goal for the club off a
corner. Exactly. And I think with those two goals, Jimmy and Mirto scored Austin's first international goals.
Can't think of who else it would have been.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. I mean, hold on, that's cap, because didn't Julio dunk on Saudi Arabia?
You know what? You might be right. I'll look it up while you're talking, because now I need to know.
I think we'll talk about our last player who's not really a player anymore, in Leo Väisänen. He used the international window to go put on his BK Hacken kit on and take some pictures and stuff. But anyway, not named to the roster in the 1-0 win over Malta. But let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the club announced Monday morning that the transfer of Leo to Swedish top flight club BK Hacken happened. Mm-hmm. I mean, Lobar, what are your thoughts on this, man?
It saves us a bunch of money.
Sure.
He played 34 games in almost 80 opportunities. So, it's like he was injured a lot. It was tough to see. He had skill. We were excited to have him, especially after Ruben left in 22. I I think he played fine for us. And I think it made sense that he's been on the bench, especially with the transfer out, obviously in the works for a while. So best of luck to the man. I'm glad he's going, closer to home. He's joining our boy Lundy, Adam Lundquist, who's his teammate a couple years ago in Austin. So shout out to him. It is what it is. I do want to confirm, by the way, Julio scored against UAE in 2023. The United Arab Emirates. So shout out to Julio. Our first attackers to score, though.
That's right. There you go.
There we go.
I mean, although Julio is a shadow striker, bro. I don't,
true. Not as much as Romano
say that with
was,
my chest.
Yes.
Yeah. Dope. And then last but not least,
shout out Leo. I'll just say that one more time.
Yeah. Leo. I mean, good shit, dude. I'll never forget. Honestly, the most memorable thing I have that is a positive, I will say, is the Youngling Beer little cameo he did with that chef dude cooking the burger. That was really cool. So anyway.
That was cool.
Let's look. Yeah. Right. Looking at Nations League, CONCACAF style. I mean, bro, I know you're a USMNT fan. I get to kind of go back and forth between USMNT and L3.
Yeah.
But are you panicking yet, or are you poach out? What's the deal? What's going on?
I just don't care. I don't care enough. It's been the only soccer before Austin FC that I consistently followed was at least the U.S. men's national team, right? I was at least aware of what they were doing,
right?
Because I followed international play, etc. Watched them disappoint my whole life, to be honest. They've had some moments of whatever.
Yeah.
I think there's been so much hype around this team, this rendition of the U.S. men's national team, not only with the quality of players, and you have the most players I think we've ever had in top 5 leagues, right, across Europe and whatnot. Guys who are contributing for their clubs in European competition and everything, right? And we have a coach with the on-paper pedigree to take this club to higher heights. And here we are, haven't won a game with them. And a lot of guys underperforming. Doesn't seem to have a clear vision of what we're going to do, how we're going to utilize our best players. And yeah, man, it's just, here we are. So shout out, Coach.
I'm hoping that it gets a little bit better, man, because
it will. I mean, it will. But
you say that, but
I think for the players, at least this, I mean, it's the first Nations League Cup they haven't won since 2020, 2021, something like that.
I think no. Maybe
they won the last year. 3.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not these kiddos are used to winning these types of things. At least recently, Pulisic and Dest and the crew who've been around the last 4+ years.
Right.
So, I think this is a wake up call for them at minimum. And the players would be like, yo, this is bullshit. We're better than this. I don't think Pochettino will do much to inspire. So the players got to do it. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, the other thing on the flip side of all of this is looking at the rest of the federation. I mean, you're looking at Panama, that is definitely on the rise. They've got some quality on there. Mexico looks to be resurging again, and Canada is still hit or miss under Jesse Marsh, but it's going to start getting more competitive, in this confederation, and so
is Mexico back, bro?
That 4-4-2 is all the way up right now for Mexico, and Raul Jimenez is. I mean, I don't know how many jokes have been out there already about he is him, Jimenez. But bro, that dude is easily the most on informed dude in CONCACAF right now. So good shit.
I'm happy for you. I think that's great for you. Your split fandom allows you to just bandwagon to the team that's doing better. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That sounds like cope, but
I know
we move.
It is. I got one choice, bro. Otherwise, I'm just a fake fan.
I feel you, G. I feel you. Well, up next, we'll review our match away at St. Louis City SC. Hang tight.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Yep.
Yo, Lobar, I was looking at your memento from the game last Saturday, and that picture was fire, dude. Why don't you talk to the people and tell them about their new favorite app?
For sure, man. Memento is your sports scrapbook for Austin FC. Your games, your stats, your scores, a memento for every moment. Every memento is yours to personalize. Add your photos from Q2, tag the homies, and relive your unique experience. Every memento is packed with stats, so watch as your sports history grows as you add a memento for each game. From Austin FC to NWSL and NCAA to the Premier League, NFL, and NBA. Track your fan experience from the palm of your hand.
Help the pod out by downloading Memento today. Follow the link in our description or on our socials to start tracking your mementos. Thanks. And we're back. Austin are on the road this weekend as they look to notch their first win against third-year side St. Louis City SC at Energizer Park. St. Louis opened up their season in impressive fashion with 4 consecutive clean sheets before losing to Philly Union last weekend 1-0. Austinites will remember this as the team that began their existence in MLS with a road trip to Q2 in 2023, and thanks to fucking Jared Stroud playing the meanest prank on our young Kip Keller, dude. We gave them their first win. That sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks, dude. Lobar, despite the head-to-head match history, why are you optimistic about this road match, G?
Well, we haven't won yet ever against them. 3 losses, 2 draws.
Yeah.
Can I just say real quick side note? Holy shit, how they're already in year 3. Time moves fast.
It's
what
weird.
Is existence?
Right.
But I'm optimistic because we are them. And Uzuni scored for Albania. Vazquez hit the pose after scoring against San Diego. No new clubs. It's us or no one. Go get the win.
Right.
I am optimistic though because I don't know, man. It seems like it's just a different vibe with this club right now. Like Nico isn't scared of road games, right? He's not at press conferences saying all you need to do is get a draw away. As long as you win your home games, you can make the playoffs. That's not the shit that he's spewing to media fans for 3 years.
Yeah.
So he's shown that he wants to go play these games. He wants to get a goal. He wants to play good defense, right? Like, I don't know, man. I'm
hopeful. Tactical, he's definitely more tactical in that sense. Like we all heard that Josh was very much tactical in that sense, but you never really could see it.
Yeah, we never saw it
Felt
too much
it
consistently.
Yeah. But here it's like 5 games in, he's already tried 3 different formations and different, styles of playing these games, and it's
right.
It's cool.
I think it's just going to be. I mean, also St. Louis has injuries, right, and red cards, and they're missing 2 of their top guys. Who remind me who it is? It's
they got Roman Berkey out. Yeah, the keeper, and then Edward Loven. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
He got a red card. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Last game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're going to be missing some key pieces. We'll have our key pieces back. I've joked about this. I said it already, but I do think Uzuni comes back with a lot of momentum. He's been playing well for us, and he saw the ball hit the back of the net in official play for his nation. That's fucking cool. So come back, lock in, carry these teams. He's clearly a leader with his energy and his fire on the field. So I think he'll come back and be like, hell yeah, dude, fucking great win, boys. Let's take this to St. Louis. I never heard of it. Let's dominate.
I've never heard of it, bro.
So yeah, man, I think I'm optimistic for that reason. I mean, we're not to predictions yet, but optimism means points. So that's where I'm feeling right now. I think we can go in and do something that no Austin club has ever done.
Yeah.
Against St. Louis.
Hell yeah, dude. Damn, I'm inspired. I feel good about that. I'm not gonna lie. I think for me, I just look at this as a very similar matchup to what we had against San Diego, which was they had a lot of key pieces out. Mm-hmm. Granted, St. Louis, from what we know, these 2 players in Lowen and Berkey, they're their big stars, right? 2 DPs out there for them for this match, and so if we can take advantage of that,
Berkey's a DP, damn.
Yeah, dude, it's
crazy. We got Brad.
It feels good.
Pennies.
Yeah, we straight up did. Yeah,
crazy. Sorry, you were saying.
No, but it's just that's why I feel good about it, is because haters will say this is just another one of those games where we're not facing a team's highest potential or whatever. But it's dude, you got to play what's in front of you, right? So if they're coming in hobbled, we're gonna cream them. But yeah, another point to this is that this is not the same side led by Bradley Carnell, who's been their coach up to, before they sacked him last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't anticipate there being an adherence to this high press that they have been known for. It kind of would throw Austin off their game plan for a bit, but their new manager, Olaf Melberg, seems to place a heavy emphasis on the defensive structure of the St. Louis side, which makes me think that we're going to see two very stingy defenses at the same time, kind of playing a little bit of a chess match here. So, Lobar, do you think we make it 3 games in a row where we concede the possession game and opt for a counterattack, or are we going to try something different, you think?
I wouldn't be mad at it. I think that'd be fun. Throw Uzuni and Vazquez up top, do a similar kind of lineup with Cascante and Heinzike, get Bidu in there, get a lot of midfielders, let them just run, I could see us, with all our DPs back, you want to play them, you want to get them reps together. So go to something more traditional, 4-3-3, 4-4-2, however we see it play out. I say more traditional from what we've seen in the 3 games these guys have played together, but something that gets all 3 guys out in a position that is advantageous for them.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I am wary to guess and to predict what Nico's going to do because I've been proven wrong almost every time. So it's we could do anything, bro. And it's kind of the fun part of being a fan right now is hey, we could rock and bunker down, have 27% possession, score 2 out of 5 shots on target and win this game.
Yeah, a little
we
smash
could
grab.
say, F it, give me 58% possession. Let's get a lot of good, play out in the wing and get some crosses in and do something fun there. Let Uzuni jump, let Vazquez jump, and see what they can do with the ball in their head. So, I think it's going to be a good game. Yeah. And I think whatever Nico chooses to do, I'm going to have some fun watching it. So we could see a counter. That could be fun, especially to get some one-on-ones with, streaking striker and a backup keeper. That could be cool, where we see them have to run out and make a choice and be put into pressured situations. That could be fun to see. So, why not? What do you think?
I get the feeling that we might not be as bunker heavy or willing to give up possession on this matchup, specifically because we have Julio coming back. That's just another week where he's kind of regaining that fitness again. Yeah. And I say that because with him or Svatak coming in, we have the 2 traditional center backs, and so your back line is back to that just cohesive unit again. Everyone's in their natural position, so that allows a little bit more confidence, to advance the ball a little bit more against St. Louis. And I don't know, dude, I feel like we're doing a good job. We saw in the very first game against SKC, we can tiki-taka, pass it around and command possession that way. We can also do the smash and grab, bunker style. I don't know, man. I just, like you said, dude, it's going to be a fun game. This is a fun team to watch. And so, it's going to be good. What do you have as far as a prediction is concerned?
I want us to score more goals, right? So I want to say a 2-1 win again, right? Let's just keep that theme going.
Right.
But I truly think this is going to be one of those scrappy 1-0 wins or 0-0 draws, right? I think we're going to win 1-0. It's Uzuni or Vazquez gets their goal. I mean, maybe even Owen Wolf, who knows? I think we just get a goal. We get a well-deserved goal, right? Whether it's in run of play, a guy that just Uzuni finally gets his, we get a good corner or set piece that gets us a nice header or something, very simple. And then from that point on, it's just a defensive slugfest like you were predicting or you were outlining. So I'm thinking 1-0.
Okay.
Give us a gritty win. Let's show off back at home the week after against Portland. Is that right? Is that the week?
Portland.
Yeah. So on it's going to be a movie, So give us a 4-1 Portland after that, and that's where I want the floodgates to open. But I'd be really happy with a 1-0 gritty win, make St. Louis suffer, right? Strike early and just run the game out. So
feel that.
1-0. Austin.
I think I'm gonna echo that as well. 1-0. Because man, it's some about it. They haven't. They've only let in that one goal, if I'm not excuse me.
We didn't even mention that. St. Louis was on a streak of shutouts before that loss to Philly. So you didn't mention it, but
it's just, I don't know, dude. It's gonna be I don't know. This is why I love the MLS, dude. I'm be real with you. It's why I love it.
Yeah.
It's why I hate it, because it's like anyone can beat anyone, but except for Austin. Austin's gonna be everyone.
Yes.
You know, because
yes.
like you said, they are them.
32-2.
Exactly,
So,
dude.
in the works. No, but
yeah.
I think it's a good point. Like St. Louis hasn't let in a goal, right? Granted, Berkey's going to be out, a little different. Lewin's
and their
be
backup
out.
keeper had a really good game against Philly. I think 8 saves on the night.
Yeah.
So
he's no slouch.
It's going to be It's a Stephen Cleveland type beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Except we have the better one because we actually have
the actual Stephen Cleveland.
Never underestimate his power.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, 1-0. They're a stingy team defensively, but we're just them. So
Heard that, G. Heard that. Well, we're rocking away with points. That's all I know.
Yes.
And as always with the away games, we do have another watch party plug for you for Los Verdes. This weekend, they're going to be out at Radio East on Montopolis with the watch party beginning at noon, even though kick starts at 1:15. They do encourage folks to bring individual seats and stuff like that, because I think this space for seating is kind of limited over there. They will have 3 food trucks on site. They have Shortwave Diner, Tommy Want Wingy, and Veracruz Tacos.
Right. Yeah, that place is cool.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good spot. Definitely check it out. But
to that point, this is personal. I'm just going to bring it up though. When is our game on Saturday? Our rec game.
Our rec game might be low key at noon.
Oof.
So we'll be finishing up as like they're kicking off.
Yeah. Well, luckily that's literally like a 6-minute drive from the field, so we can go straight from the game to the field to the Radio East.
Yeah. So if you see your boys in sweaty soccer clothing, we'll just probably have
dominated, and we're here to support the boys. Locked in.
Little 4-2 victory kind of type beat.
4-0, dog. Anyway,
4-0?
Sorry,
I
just wanted to ask that because I didn't know if we were going to be there given the game.
Right. Now, good point.
But anyway, behind the scenes for the listener.
Exactly. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up with some stoppage time, shall we?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and kick things off with some World Cup qualifying. We've got Japan becoming the first nation to qualify outside of the host nations for World Cup 2026. And as of today, just found out New Zealand is on that list as well.
Iran as well. According to the World Cup page, they made it in.
Who did?
Iran.
Oh, nice. Iran. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I read that earlier, so shout out to them.
Hell yeah, dude. So we've got obviously the North American countries since they're hosting, but now we've got Japan, New Zealand, and Iran. Getting ready to.
To that point, I'll react now. My bad. Just looking at the internet, talking about Iran making it. Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's one. It's fuck yeah, like that's cool. These clubs made it. Also, two, it's the nature of their games were earlier than everybody else's, so they're gonna.
Yeah.
The Asia qualifier were always going to be the first ones, and Oceania qualifiers were always going to be the first ones to be announced.
Yeah.
Other than the host, but I mean, Japan, our J League All Stars, pretty much.
Fucking blue lock, dude.
The international guys, but J League All Stars and friends just dominating. Unsurprised, not surprised.
Yeah.
That's what we expect from them. So shout out.
Hell yeah.
Shout out.
Amen. And then moving on, we've got looking at club action. Juventus sacking their manager Thiago Motta. They've been in the mud for a bit now, so good move on their part. And then they've announced that Igor Tudor is the replacement. A little Serie A action for you folks there, So
I saw that Motta had like the lowest or one of the lowest win ratios in the club's history. They gave him a pretty long lead. I mean, granted, only like 40 something games or whatever, but only 18 wins in that stretch. It's very Josh Wolf-esque, which furthers the Wolf out arguments that. Anyway, we didn't talk about that, but some Serie A drama for sure. It's not good enough for the usually top club. So
exactly.
Yeah. Who's Igor Tudor? Is he
somebody? I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. I do not know this man.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if that was like a name.
I'm guessing it's some assistant. I don't know, bro.
Word.
Farmer League.
Stop that.
Just kidding, dude. Moving over, we've got the Houston Dash in NWSL registering their first league win in 2025 in a 2-1 win over Chicago Stars. Chicago down in the mud, dude.
How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, dude. Paige Nielsen scored. I know the ladies over on Queef Pod. Gina
Mhm.
loves her some Paige Nielsen. I love some Paige Nielsen. So
Right.
like, we're up right now, dude.
I'm kind of offended that you don't have the San Diego Wave score also in this point. I just want to point out that my San Diego Wave won 3-2, thanks to the Utah Royals keeper handing the ball directly to Gia Corley on a on a continuation of play. So that's what's up on a goal kick, just like right to her, and she nailed it top corner. That was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Just wanted to point that out. That was personal and rude. So
my fault, dog. My fault.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, I just had to sit there in silence and kind of like register, that guilt there. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on.
Let's do it.
We're looking over at CF Montreal, who have sacked their manager, Laurent Courtois, after just 5 games into the 2025 season, with assistant coach Marco Donadel becoming their interim manager. Bro.
Yeah, first one down. That's got to be close to a league record for shortest or quickest firing in a season without controversy or whatever else would cause that performance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tough, dude. I mean, just win a game, and you won't be fired. So
you say just win a game, but I think for a lot of fans that have been paying attention to what's going on in Montreal, they would argue with what fucking club, bro?
Yeah,
because like
true, bro.
Their owners are not spending.
No, that's
for a cohesive team. They will splash occasionally on some stars, but they're usually washed on a free transfer or whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's tough hand for the assistant coach, bro. Like, I don't know if Marco whatever has ever been a head coach somewhere, but like to have this be your first official, even if it's interim, official head coaching gig for a squad that can't win shit. Like, you just hope it's one of those, like, oh, Colorado Rapids fire their coach and now they're on like a 9-game winning streak. You hope it's something like that, to where the club's like, all right, change, we want to do well for you, like, let's do it.
I feel like if I'm the interim coach, bro, I'm ordering all the Saratoga water. I'm bringing a bunch of bananas, a bunch of old bowls of ice water, bro. Team meeting 3:30 a.m., bro. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do that. Exactly.
That's funny.
Yes, sir. I'm hoping that joke kind of leaves the zeitgeist.
At least one person knows what we're talking about. So
right, exactly. Anyway, moving over, we have Owen Wolf being named to the MLS Week 5 Team of the Match Day.
It's deserved, bro. It's deserved. He's been cooking, and I think a lot of the pundits that have ranked the like U21 players of the U22 MLS
22 under 22
players to watch, like that kind of stuff, and ranked him so low in the lower teens are regretting that, because he's putting it all together and being put in opportunities to really contribute statistically. Like, he's always contributed in some way. He's never been bad, right? He's always been a player to watch, but he's really being put in advantageous positions to showcase his skill on the stat sheet. And it's exciting to see, man. It really is.
Truly. I think I want to butt against something that you mentioned, where it's like he's being put in advantageous positions to like ball out and stuff. I would just argue that he's worked hard to like put himself in a position to just be given the opportunity to start on the pitch and then do his thing, right? So that's cool. My thing is, for him, my hope is that he can be consistent, because everyone that's on this team can have a good little spurt of like production. We've seen that with Danny, right? When he came back from Copa America, balled out, started this season kind of little sus, but if he can keep this up, man, bro, it's big sale coming.
I want to keep him, dude. He's good. Win us a cup first.
My fault. That's what I meant.
You can go wherever you want.
First homegrown. Heard that.
You have to do it.
And then, as always, closing it out with Chelsea, we've got the women actually coming back from a 1-0 down to a 2-1 victory over Man City in the league to get those 3 points. I think that's a big deal.
Dude, they cooked them. They cooked them, because that was game 3 of this 4-game stretch against Man City.
Right.
Chelsea won the first one. They lost the second, which was and then they lost the UCL.
Yeah, that was the first leg of the quarterfinal.
Yep, and then they won the league matchup.
Yep,
which was just good to do.
Yeah,
because we're first and we want to keep that. So
right.
all that to say though, we absolutely cooked them in the second half.
Yes, we did.
Slow first half, from what I understand. Wasn't able to watch it. Ended up watching the second half. My girl Joanna Kinnerid. Trying to remember because they call it in the actual one. In the actual broadcast, they call it the full name. She was cooking on that right wing.
She was.
Bars, dude. I immediately started a NWSL manager career on EAFC 25.
Let's
and
go.
She was my big DP signing for the Violet Crown FC, Austin's club. So,
hell yeah, dude.
You know what it is. I got to bring in that international star to carry, like she does for Chelsea when she gets the opportunity. So, enough of that. Shout out the Chelsea women's. Keep it going. Let's come back, win this quarterfinal leg 2.
That's right.
Win another Champions League,
dude. Or win our first, technically, man.
True. I meant for the club.
For the club, I know what you mean. But yeah, this has been the elusive one, man, for the women at least. But anyway, well, I mean that's it, yo. We appreciate y'all kicking it with us on this week's episode of the Verdependent podcast. I'm Paul Fletes. You can catch me on Twitter at Paul and UFC. I'm
Logan Bartlett. Catch me on. That's a government name. You didn't write it in. I forgot. I'm full reading mode right now. I'm Logan Bartlett. You can catch me on Twitter at LobarVHLM.
Nice. And you can keep the chatter going online by following at the Verdependent on social media. We're still on the Bird app. We are on Blue Sky. We're trying to get better about doing the Blue Sky thing.
Yeah. If you haven't noticed,
Instagram.
I can speak for myself personally. I am absolute shit at social media.
Dude,
I never prioritize
dog water.
And it's hard to make it a habit because I like to not be on my phone. So we're getting better. We really are prioritizing it because we want to share our content with y'all. We don't want to burden you with having to listen to a 50-minute episode every week as the only way to engage. So we're working on it. Just want to throw it out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be better. Stop.
You're doing good, man. You're just trying your best. No. And it's all good, man. Yeah. I feel that though. Well, and really quick though, before everyone leaves, we just want to remind you again, if you haven't done so already, to please consider subscribing to the Verdependent podcast wherever you're listening to this right now, and leaving a review wherever you listen to us, and sharing these episodes with your Verde friends. That is an episode, y'all. Peace.
Oh, why are you screaming at me?
Oh my God.